Okay, what I've actually done is just looked at shirt that I had that I now use as a pattern. So what I did was to cut the shirt open at the seams, and it's now my pattern. Now my fabric is actually across the grain because of the pattern. It has the black and white here and at the end. So I've just laid down the shirt and use it as a pattern. You can use a loose fitting t-shirt and trace around it. Just ensure that the neckline is not too low as we're going to make a bow tie. When we were cutting our armhole, because the shirt was smaller than I am, I added an inch here. So ensure that if you're cutting your sleeve, you add that extra inch to both sides of the sleeve so that the sleeve would actually fit the arm's depth. To make the binding for the keyhole, we're actually going to cut a bias binding. So this is my fabric, the straight edge. I'm simply going to take this edge, pull it all the way at an angle. I've measured my keyhole and it's about 12 inches, so I'm going to cut along this line and measure 12 inches. So that is how we do a bias cut. To make the bell sleeve, we're going to cut a full sleeve. So we're going to cut, unfold and open it into a full sleeve. We're then going to mark about 8 inches from the bottom of the sleeve and mark a T. We're going to cut along this T line, careful not to cut the edges. You're going to spread it to your desired width and then mark your new line. And the blue line now represents your new sleeve pattern. I'm also going to stitch a 5/8 of an inch casing at the bottom so I can put a 1/2 inch elastic, and I will gather that elastic to fit my wrist. I'm going to cut the bow in the part of the fabric where the pattern is concentrated. So I have it folded in half, and I'm going to fold it in half a second time so I can cut two of the strings at the same time. Now I want it to be really long, so I folded it to the entire length of the fabric. So I have done a stay stitch to the neckline to ensure that it doesn't stretch during sewing. I've also gone ahead and measured my neckline and I get 15 inches. Now I'm going to take my tie and prepare my tie. This is the center of my necktie. Now the neck circumference was 15 inches. So I'm going to measure from the center to each side around 8 inches and put a pin there. Now the rest of the necktie I'm just going to sew from the end all the way up to where I've put the mark. And that of course would be with right sides facing each other. So with right sides facing, sew from one end all the way up to the 8-inch mark, and from the other end all the way up to the 8-inch mark. Turn it on the right side, and then we'll attach the open area to the neck of the blouse. With your shirt on the wrong side and the tie on the right side, we're going to pin the right side of the tie along the wrong side of the shirt neckline and sew. Turn your shirt to the right side, and this is the center back. I'm going to fold down a 1/2 inch or a quarter depending on how much you use for seam allowance. Fold it in half and then pin. So fold on a 1/4 inch, fold it in half and pin to the neckline all the way around, and then top stitch.